To Mozambique next, where police opened fire on crowds demonstrating in the capital, Maputo. At least 2 people were killed, one of them shot directly in the head. Civil society organization, the Center for Democracy and Development, said the police's rapid intervention unit fired live rounds at their team while they were observing the events. Opposition leader Venancio Mondlane had called for the day of protest on the 18th of March to honor national heroes killed in earlier demonstrations, such as activist Azagaia, a rapper who sang about injustice in the country. Eyewitnesses described the moment when the police opened fire.
They're shooting at us since this morning. They're shooting. We don't know where we're going to live. They're shooting with guns. Even this lady here, they wanted to kill her.
We've been here since morning. We wanted to kinda celebrate Mano Azagaia. We wanted to do this march. So then the police start using violence. They are shooting. They are launching tear gas. They are using violence, right? Why are they doing this?
They followed this young boy until this corner. Then they shot him and he is dead. For what? It's them, the Rapid Intervention Unit, and the youth weren't doing anything. They were dancing and having fun. They were having fun.
Right. Mondlane announced the day-long national shutdown on his Facebook page, calling it as a National Heroes Day to honor Azagaia, his lawyer, and others who fought and died for people's rights in Mozambique. Mondlane says he won the country's October election. Hundreds of people have died in an anti-government protest in recent months. Demonstrators say President Daniel Chapo stole last year's election, and though his government was sworn in January, many business owners in the country still find themselves in limbo. Entrepreneurs are struggling to get back on their feet. Mozambique's Chamber of Commerce estimates that at least 1,000 businesses are closed due to vandalism, looting, and disorder in the wake of the unrest, and says most of them will never recover.
2 months after political protests brought Mozambique to a standstill, business owners have not managed to restart their lives. Aldemiro Eduardo shopping center in the capital, Maputo, was attacked the day before Christmas. This cell phone video shows the extent of the damage. 250 people had jobs here. Now, just 15 are employed, and Eduardo doesn't know how long he can keep them on.
We've had around 40% of our infrastructure destroyed by vandalism. At the moment, we're rebuilding. We're trying to get back on our feet, but there's no money.
Like hundreds of other businesses, his shopping center was looted in the heat of post-election protests, which lasted from October through December. Demonstrators, unhappy with Daniel Chapo's win, broke down doors and demolished shop interiors, furious at what they perceived as a rigged vote. Business owners like Eduardo were caught in the middle.
We weren't prepared for this. And insurance companies don't cover these kinds of situations.
Eduardo recently attended a summit for affected business owners. The Confederation of Business Associations says an estimated 110 million euros in stock and infrastructure were lost, and some 17,000 people became jobless. And all this has had a knock-on effect on the nation's economy, with tax revenues down by 600 million euros. That's a drop of about 17%.
The government is speaking to commercial banks, following orders from the President of the Republic, to find some quick solutions to this post-election tension and the impact it's had on the economy and on the private sector in particular.
Eduardo is desperate for a lifeline, but says funding alone won't help if there's no political stability.
If I receive money from the state, what do? If I get money, I'll buy the goods to replenish my inventory, and the next day the vandals will take everything. So first of all, it's security. That's the biggest concern at the moment.
Protests continue to rock Mozambique as demonstrators call for government reforms and a change to the election results. That's despite the government and opposition parties taking steps to resolve the post-election crisis. Without stability, the country's political woes will continue to affect businesses trying to rebuild.